Hey guys, and welcome. Today we've got an amazing 10-minute workout. It's gonna jack up your heart rate. We're gonna hit the abs. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and you're gonna love it. So bring your good attitude. Let's get to work. All right, guys, say hi to Katie, say hi to Wayne. They're gonna be moving alongside of you guys. We're starting our warm-up in 10 seconds with a steady state cardio piece. We just wanna get your heart rate going. We wanna get you guys moving. Katie's going to be doing jumping jacks. Wayne's just gonna march in place to begin with. And again, the purpose here is to jump that heart rate up. Katie, if she didn't want to go the jumping jacks route, we've got a line that she's going to be using during the workout. She could do side hops, she could do front and back hops. If Wayne's feeling spicy, this could be a run in place, or it could slow back down, and we could even just do hip openers. The point is, your body, your thing, trying to get you ready, because when we hit 3, 2, 1, go, we want to go hard. We've got about 7 more seconds. Then we're going to use the movements from the workout to get you more warm. So guys, we're starting with an air squat. Go ahead and find your feet position, find your good movement. Make sure your core is nice and tight. We're getting your body warm. 3 movements in this warm-up. You'll notice that Wayne is scaling differently than what Katie's doing. See what feels right to you, what feels more along the lines with where you are in your fitness journey, and follow along. So Wayne's going up on the toes there. Katie's doing a regular air squat. We're gonna go into sit-ups next, and you'll notice the modifications here even more, because Wayne's gonna be doing a quarter sit-up. You guys can go ahead and transition into that sit-up position. Both of us using ab mats. If you have one of those available, great. If you don't, maybe fold up a towel, put that under your lower back. It just fills that space and allows the full complement of your abs to be involved in the movement. But here you see Wayne working the negatives. We're calling that a quarter sit-up, and Katie going for a full sit-up. The last thing that you guys are gonna do, we're gonna do a burpee. You'll see Wayne's modification for that. I didn't say go, but I like your transition speed. We're going to transition into that burpee, guys. Show me, Wayne's gonna be doing step up, step down. Doesn't matter to me how you guys get to the ground. What a burpee is taking your full center of mass and putting it on the ground, taking your full self and getting it all the way back up. At the top, you'll notice Katie does a little hop over the line, and Wayne is just gonna rise up on his toes. I don't care what you guys do. We're trying to work that range of motion. And it also doesn't matter how you get up and how you get down. Wayne probably could jump his feet in like that, or he can step back and step up. About 10 more seconds, guys, a few more reps. Make sure that they're good. Make sure that you're sweating. I want you to be out of breath. I know the workout hasn't started yet, but you gotta get yourself ready. All right, friends, warm-up's done. It's time to get to work. We are starting this workout in 10 seconds. Here's the good news. You already know the movements because we just did them in our warm-up. Don't worry, there'll be more details to come, but for now, just turn off your brain, follow along, and work hard. We're starting with that version of the air squat. Now remember, there's different versions for different people. You decide where you're at today. All I care about is maximum effort. You're trying to get that full range of motion. You're trying to make your movements beautiful. Katie is doing a jumping air squat. You notice that Wayne is just doing a rise at the top, and that's gonna be his version for the day. Still getting a great stimulus, still doing a lot of work. Here's what we're doing, guys. We're doing 10 of every single movement. Then you're moving on to the next. We're gonna do it 3 times. You get a little built-in break. Then we're gonna do 30 of each all at once. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about or it's not making any sense, just follow along. Katie and Wayne already moving on to that last movement, which is the modified burpee for Wayne, and a burpee with a jump over a line. We use the line just to give you some way to get your feet off the ground. Every once in a while, when you're jumping straight up, you forget to actually leave the ground. Okay, so 10 of each movement. This is just the first round. We've got 2 more. Now look, Wayne's going hard. One thing I can tell you is if you're at home, Wayne, show them what a step up looks like. There you go. You can step these burpees in, you can step them out. The version doesn't matter. We're scaling to your abilities today. So you might have come out a little hot. You might be settling into a pace now. We're starting round number 2, both athletes. So if you're on pace, you're starting your second round of 3. Katie, great job. Great job. Working on a descent, guys. Wayne trying to fight to get that chest up a little bit taller. All the points of performance that you guys are looking for at home, we're trying to keep our heels squarely on the ground. If there's a piece of paper behind you, I wouldn't be able to pull it out when you're at the bottom of the movement. Trying to keep that core nice and tight. The sit-up is not the only movement that works the core. In fact, everything that we're doing today, if you try and keep yourself nice and organized through all these ranges of motion, it's gonna work your core as good or better than a sit-up, believe it or not. So Wayne doing that quarter sit-up, this is a great movement. We even use it in our pregnancy program for expecting mothers. We use it for anybody because you don't actually have to go through that full range of motion, but you still get a great stimulus trying to get that brace against the movement. All right, Wayne, I like what I'm seeing, buddy. So again, a burpee can be simplified all the way down to get yourself all the way to the ground. Center of mass touches the ground, you get yourself back up. We love to have a jump or a rise at the top. but it's not necessary. Really, the meat and potatoes of the movement is getting yourself down and getting yourself back up. And the cool thing about all of these movements, guys, the only equipment that we have is this ab mat on the floor. And I got a solution. If you don't have an ab mat, don't stress. A towel, a sweatshirt, anything that you can find, boom. In about 2 seconds here, I can roll it up, and I got a homemade ab mat for you, all right? Again, what that does is when you're laying on the floor, it takes that gap out from underneath you. This, for these athletes, is the third and final round. If you're on pace with them, I got good news, guys. You get to rest after this. Wherever you are, whoever you are, we're gonna rest for 2 minutes. And if you're not on pace with these athletes, I don't care. Do your 3 rounds of 10, rest for 2 minutes, and we'll get kicked back up. Doesn't matter, it's your pace today. And I'm sure that you guys are getting a good stimulus no matter what. Katie, you feeling like it's an okay workout? Wayne, you feel like you're getting a good workout? Yeah. All right. So here's the deal. Usually when people say, oh, this isn't hard enough, or this isn't good enough, this body weight only workouts, you're doing it wrong. No matter what, when you go faster, you add intensity. When you add intensity, you add difficulty, and that's where the beauty lies. And our program is trying to find intensity relative to where you're at today. Last 10, guys, and then we get a rest. So when you finish, you guys are gonna look at the clock and you're gonna modulate your own rest. Remember, you may be in the same room as somebody doing the same workout, but their pace is different than yours, or their version is different than yours, so you're in charge of your rest. Make sure you take care of your 2 minutes. And the last note on this, guys, is you're not gonna impress me with your speed. You're gonna impress me with the virtuosity and the beauty of your movements. So if you guys are flying through this and you're already done with your 3 movements, but your push-ups were halfway down and your squats never went below parallel, like, stop it. Slow down. You're gonna get a much better effect, a much better impact long-term by doing the movements correctly and doing them well. Good job, young lady. What, about just over 4 minutes? And Wayne's coming in right in behind you. So, you got your start time in your head? Good. All right. Bring it home, Wayne. Atta boy. Good. Okay, so here's the thing about rest. It's a reward. It's also a skill that you can learn. So during rest, we really encourage you to focus on bringing your heart rate down. There's no rules. You don't have to do anything to look cool. You don't have to jump on the bike. You don't have to keep moving. You can sit down on the box if you want to. You can put your hands on your head, try and maximize that breathing, but I really want you to intentionally focus on your heart rate and what it feels like. Take deep breaths and try and get that heart rate back down, because what happens next is we do everything we just did in the same quantities, but all at one time. Here's what I mean. You're still gonna do your squat variation, your sit-up variation, and your burpee variation, but 30, 30, 30, one time. So we did 3 rounds of 10, now we're doing 1 round of 30, and then you're done, guys. Your day is done. We promised you a 10-minute workout, and that should be about the time domain that you fall into with this workout. Again, modulate based on what you did in the first round, meaning if you felt like it was way too easy, maybe step up the intensity, step up the volume, or sorry, not the volume, but the speed with which you're doing it and which you're attacking it. But no matter what, good movement. No matter what, good movement. No matter what, good movement. What time are we starting at? 6:05, all right, 30 seconds to spare. So I want the people at home to kind of learn a little bit about you. Tell me where you're at in your fitness journey.
I just had a baby 1 year ago Saturday.
Oh, it's a 1-year-old. Wow, that feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah, so still just trying to shed the baby weight and to get that core strength back. So.
And pre-baby, were you usually scaling workouts? Were you lifting the weights that were?
Middle round.
Okay.
Scale some weight, but try to do all the body weight movements.
Last but not least, because you got to start, how old are you? 32-year-old with a 1-year-old and kicking butt. All right, so she's into round 2. Oh, Wayne's gonna start with her. All right, we switched the order. You'll notice we finished on burpees last time. We're starting with burpees. Small detail that I forgot to mention. 30 of each, guys. So listen, you gotta be really intentional about what your pace is. It's more important to me that you keep moving. I've got a lot of friends that I work out with, and they like to just run into a brick wall. And then you'll see them resting in the middle of the workout. The intensity drops through the floor. I would rather you find a pace that looks relatively slower than what you were doing when you're doing 10s than something that's super fast and aggressive, and then you just ruin your workout because you have to drop your intensity all the way down. Now again, the variation is on you. Katie's kicking those legs out, she's kicking them back in. Wayne's got a variation, depending on each rep looks a little bit differently. I didn't get to talk to Wayne during the break, but you guys should know, he's literally a cowboy. He is literally, this man has ridden bulls, he still wrestles steers, and these are not metaphors. That's literally, that's what this man does, all right? So eats nails for breakfast probably as well. So don't underestimate, don't sleep on Wayne, meaning if you're at home and you're like, hey, wait a minute, that guy looks like he's my age. Hey, wait a minute, I got gray hair too. Well, that doesn't mean you can keep up with him. Tell him, Wayne, tell him. 63 years young and going strong. And you probably lost count because I just got in your head. So whether you are closer in relation to Katie or you're closer in relation to Wayne, you can't judge yourself by other people, guys. This is your workout. So only you know how hard you're working. I can't look from the outside in. Looks like Katie's working pretty hard. She may be at 10% of her capacity right now. You in your head know where you're at, so don't gauge off of other people, don't compare, don't think, wow, she's going faster than me, I need to step it up. Do the movements correctly, do the movements with beauty, and over time, remember we're taking a really low trajectory at a distant horizon. That's our goal with fitness. We want to do this for a lifetime. Katie's done with 30, she's moving on to her sit-ups. Remember, homemade ab mat here if you need one. Find the speed that works for you. 30 of each. Where you at, Wayne? Woo, number 30, right on track. Right on track. All right, we're 8 minutes and 30 seconds into the overall time. Remember that includes your 2 minutes of rest. So you guys should be huffing and puffing. One thing that I really like to focus on during a sit-up that you may not have thought of before is your breathing, okay? So at the top of every movement, just like we do with weightlifting, you use your breath as a brace. It's almost a synthetic weight belt. So a weight belt is meant to help keep your abs organized and strong, keep your back safe. You can do the same thing with breathing. Just like a martial artist will brace before they get punched, you guys should use that breath. So at the top of the movement, I'm taking a deep breath and I'm holding it. I'm either blowing out aggressively on the way up, or I'm taking that breath out at the top and then another deep breath in to help myself brace. All about keeping that core nice and organized, guys. You're not trying to get floppy, you're not trying to get lazy. That's where you're losing capacity in the best case scenario. And if we're doing something more intense, hey, that's where injuries occur, when you're not focusing on what you're doing. So you guys keep your mental focus, keep your aggression, you're almost there. Remember, there's only one more movement to go after this. And since we went in reverse, maybe the air squat's easier than the burpee for you. Wayne's gonna let us know. First thing that happens with the air squat, we always focus on feet, guys. You build it from the ground up. So your feet are about shoulder width apart, your weight's in your heels, and we're trying our best to get this crease in your hip when I'm down below your knee. So at the bottom, look at Katie's almost touching the ground. She's almost sitting all the way onto the ground. This fantastic depth. Wayne's fighting for it every single time. Mobility is different for everybody. If you guys need it, maybe you've got a medicine ball that you could put down. You can make sure that you're getting to depth. I'm gonna give it to Wayne. Hit that ball, Wayne. Boom. So now you've got a target, you've got something mentally where I can actually cue myself that my depth is where I want it to be. You're still trying to fight for your chest up. One day we might put a barbell on your back. We might put it here, we might lift it overhead. You really want that torso to be nice and vertical no matter what I'm doing with my range of motion. So Wayne's fighting for that chest up, and even though we're at the end of the workout and we're dying, we're still fighting for virtuosity, which means doing fantastic movements over and over again. You guys are almost done, keep it up. Fight for these last reps. If you need to stop and shake it out every 5, find a pace that'll let you finish strong, just like these two just did. Good job, my friends. And great job to you guys at home. Listen, if you're not done, don't worry. We're not here for these guys' workouts. They're just working along with you. This is for you. If you're still working, keep it up. Pause the video if you need to, let it run. And I'm really proud of the work that you guys put in. Hey, congratulations, guys, and a great job. Thank you so much for joining us. We would love to have you guys come into the Mayhem family if you enjoyed what you did today. Doesn't matter, young or old, if you're brand new to fitness or you're a complete veteran looking to compete, we've got something for you. Weightlifting, gymnastics, mobility, you name it. It's the industry leader for online training. You can find all the information you need at the link below. Right now, though, I beg you, don't miss out on your mobility. Don't skip out on your cooldown. It's so important for your recovery and for your next fitness session. You can find all that stuff at the link here on the screen. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next time.